type of shit we on right now, man. I know I said I was gonna be on at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Now it's 9, but I was busy taking care of some shit because I actually got to go to LA for the next few days because my brother is graduating, so I got to be there to support big bro, right? So yeah, I had to take care of some shit earlier to make sure that's all set in place. With flights and airports and all the other bullshit or whatever. So I'm actually probably not going to stream for the next 3 days then because of that, right? But I'll be back on the 22nd. 22nd, I should be streaming, right? 22nd, I'll be back on stream, cooking as usual. We're still going over the Tate and Bonnie Blue interview. I'm just going to keep it cooking because I love giving monologues over this shit. I love the fam. I love cooking for the fam. So let's just keep it going, man. Let's keep growing this shit. All right. Bro, I was just sharing the screen and I fucking stopped. What the hell? All right, hold on. All right, I'm getting Prezi mode for y'all boys. Keep it fucking going.
Then he's a G, and you're gonna fall for it. You're gonna suck his dick, and then you're not even gonna get paid out at the end of it. And then you're gonna realize he's a loser, and you're gonna go get another boyfriend.
Shit, I forgot to
You were
get
just sex
water.
working for free like a fucking
I'll be
idiot.
all right.
You just got
I'm a
tricked.
baller.
You can't trick Bonnie. Bonnie gets paid. You can't trick Bonnie. Bonnie gets her money at the end. You're dumbass. You're sucking dick for free, like a fucking retard. So this is the world we live in now. So women are always judged on how they look, no matter what they do. Because to true biology, men are trying to find attractive women who can give them children, which is why we're attracted to women who are younger because they're more likely to get pregnant. It's why attraction in and of itself, what is attraction? Attraction is health. When you look at a woman who looks healthy or has good genetics, because she'll give you strong offspring, that's what attraction even is. So women are always going to use their attraction. Once a woman's obese and ugly, then she starts walking down the street screaming about fucking a bunch of garbage.
And none of y'all should be fat, by the way, bro. Being fat is the stupidest shit ever. It's literally all about just controlling what goes in your mouth. Like you literally just have to control what goes into your mouth. It's not that hard, y'all. It's really not that fucking hard. Because even when it comes to like losing weight or any of those things, bro. Because I'm not even really massive into like gym bro type shit. I just think being in shape is very valuable and it's just a great way to build discipline within yourself. Like that's kind of how I look at gym, or that's how I kind of look at the gym, bro. I've never been like a bodybuilder type nigga, but I'm more of like the gym is super important for like so many other aspects other than just aesthetics. Not that looking aesthetically isn't fucking lit as shit, it is, but at the same time, it's more like for the not only is it good for your health, of course, which your longevity, so you can be alive longer, so you can cook harder on the shit you want to do in your life, but also just so you can build discipline within yourself. It's a prime marker of discipline, at least from a body standpoint. Because I'm not even going to say here like every nigga who's in shape is necessarily a disciplined person. Because some niggas just like going to the gym and lifting weights all the time, so they end up looking pretty jacked and pretty shredded, but they're not really somebody who's capable in other areas of their life. Like they can be super jacked and super broke. You know what I'm saying? So they might have discipline in certain areas and not have discipline in other areas. Because that's more of like I like this or I don't like this. But I do think personally, as a man, even starting out into whatever journey you're starting out on, or you want to achieve big shit in your life, the gym is a great way to start building discipline. To be real, like it's just a great place to start. The weight. There's no confusion about what you're doing here when you're in the gym, bro. You're lifting the weight. You're trying to get stronger. Very simple. Lift heavier shit until it doesn't feel heavy, and then lift something heavier. You know what I'm saying? Like how raw and direct it is. It's just a very good way for you to build discipline naturally as a man. So just keep that in mind.
Because
keep
she can't compete in the true market of sexual dynamics, which is men have power and women have attraction. That's how it works. So I just think it's completely hypocritical for us as a Western society. I think it's absolutely insane to have any kind of opinions on sex work or Bonnie or anything else when women are using their sex nonstop all the time. How is having an Instagram page and being an influencer and doing TikTok dances with massive silicone tits and doing this, then fucking getting millions of views and unlimited money for fucking dancing around with a shit dance? It's not even good. Not sex work. How is that not sex work? How is Instagram not sex work?
But TikTok back in the day when niggas used to be trying, because like, bro, I remember I hopped on TikTok in 2019 because I built up a page around like entertainment and like funny shit back in like 2019 or early 2020. And Back then, niggas used to be dancing well before all the hoes found out about TikTok. Then it just became thirst traps. I'm not saying that. I mean, there was thottery, a lot of thottery going on regardless, but at least back then, niggas used to be dancing. Like them dances used to be fun as shit. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like that early era before I want to say COVID hit in 2020 when everybody found out about TikTok, that shit was lit. I'm not gonna lie to you. That shit was funny as fuck. But yeah. And when I say it's better than Vine, yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. TikTok has had some lit ass peaks, at least in my mind, because when I was on it a lot, at least. So I don't know. Random, just a random thought I had, man. And TikTok back in the day, bro, that shit used to be lit. So should be.
You're uploading your best photos. You want people to find you attractive.
You're
using your
filtering.
appeal.
Instagram is a dating app. Women shouldn't be. If you're onto Instagram, you're looking for male attention. You're uploading your best pictures with filters. You got your fucking tits out in every photo. You're shaking your ass in every photo. All these fucking Instagram reels, all of TikTok, all of this.
It's funny too because it's like I mentioned this also last stream too. Like women's game is literally just deception. Like that's their primary game in terms of dealing with men. It's just it's deception, right? That's what make it. What's makeup? It's deception in itself. It's inherently deception. It's something that is used to enhance your looks, right? It enhances your looks. Even like BBLs and all this other kind of shit. It's like you don't naturally have that. So you go out of your way to enhance yourself to the male gaze. That's just essentially what it is. Whether it's makeup, whether it's the BBLs, whether it's getting implants in your tits, whatever it is, like all these things are to enhance yourself to the male gaze. That's what I'm saying. A female game is inherently deception. Because when it comes to looks, it's not like, of course, you can go to the gym and get in shape base. But because women primarily, right, are valued based off their sexuality, like they have to find ways, even if it's not natural, to enhance their looks. Like you just have to. And man, we as men also do that shit too, bro. Like we'll buy cars we can't afford, houses we can't afford. Just generally take bitches to places that we can't afford. You know what I'm saying? We'll do dumb shit. We'll act richer than we really are. Or we'll act like we have more status than we really do. Understand? Because we understand that the opposite sex likes that shit. So it's like that's just kind of like when you just step back and look at the genders like openly in that way. When you look at men and you look at women, that's just kind of what it is. Like both sides kind of do shit to be deceptive to the other, right? It's just like, well, actually, nah. When I actually couldn't, because it's crazy. That, I mean, it's true though. When you look at it like that, I mean, both genders in itself tend to be very deceptive. Men less so, at least from a look standpoint, because the truth is we're just not really valued that much in our looks, right? Obviously, bitches like niggas that look good, but it's just like we're not valued as much. Like our ability to have status and resources is way more important to any woman anywhere than it is for us to look insanely attractive, of course, right? So, yeah. So I guess like our forms of deception are different. For them, they use deception in terms of enhancing their looks. We use deception in terms of acting like we have more money than we really do or more status than we really do.
This shit. Look at any of the famous women. How is all of it not sex work? You're advertising sex or you're making people want to fuck you for attention or money. It's all sex work.
Oh God,
so we as a society say, yeah, an 18-year-old girl can get massive silicones and dance around on TikTok and get millions and millions of viewers, but she's an influencer. No, she is a sex object.
Yeah.
That's all she is.
They're the ones that walk down the street.
And a lot of them just be having an OF in the bio too. Even if they're doing some shit on TikTok that looks lukewarm to you, you'll still be seeing the OnlyFans in their bio, in their bio, because obviously they don't want to go too crazy. But bro, 90% of these social media apps, bro, they do not give a fuck. Bitches are damn near naked on the average social media app, bro. Like if you make an average a brand new social media account. Like, I need y'all to understand how crazy this is. Like, think about this, guy. Think about this, y'all. Like, really think about this. What's crazy to me? If you guys look at all the main social medias, whether it be X, YouTube, or Instagram, if you just randomly make an account on any of these platforms, you will instantly on explore pages or for you type pages on anything, these apps, even TikTok included, you will be blasted with a ton of softcore porn. Like, bitches are half naked on all of these apps. All of them, bro. It's actually legitimately insane. Like, bitches could just be naked. No issues, no problems. Right? But if you have certain political opinions, usually on the conservative side, of course, you have conservative opinions about things. You talk about maybe Israel, for example, because that's the main topic that a lot of these social media apps are, oh shit, he's talking about them. Less so now just because so many niggas are talking about it. But the point is, you get banned or silenced or blocked off on a lot of these social media platforms for speaking about important issues. But on the other end, bitches can just be half naked everywhere. So people who want to talk about real important shit, politically speaking, right? They want to talk about real important shit that's actually important to Americans, right? Nope, can't say that. Shh, be quiet. Get rid of that. But women could just be half naked everywhere. And it can be shown to kids. I'm talking about 13-year-old, 12-year-olds. You make an account, you're seeing half naked women instantly. Like, I'm even trying to imagine this shit, bro, because it was never this deep when I was like 12 or 13. Like, Instagram had just come out when I was in 6th grade. That was in like, I don't know, fucking 2012, right? Instagram had just come out, right? Snapchat wasn't really popping like that yet. Obviously, we didn't have TikTok. It was Vine at the time still. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Vine, I'm pretty sure it was out by then. Maybe not, I don't know, but Vine was just there. There was no mass social media yet as we know it today, right? So even during that period, like, I knew of porn and sex and all the other kind of stuff, but there wasn't such extreme streamlined access to it. Like, you'd have to go to the real porn website to go be seeing anything. Compared to now, like, I'm trying to imagine like the average middle school boy, bro. You hop on any of these social medias, just porn, just softcore porn thrown in your face. It's like your algorithm is instantly designed when you make a new account to see hoes. And I just find this shit all very, very crazy. And it goes to show that the social order that we currently live in, where women are just free to be deplorable and butt naked on the internet, and nobody's like, they don't get banned, they don't get silenced, they don't get censored, they ain't get nothing. But anybody who speaks about very important topics, as I mentioned a second ago, especially on the more conservative side or right wing side, says any important really things or talks about important topics and is honest about certain important topics, whether it be race or Zionism, for example, silenced instantly. Like, this is a situation we're in, bro. This is the literal female social order that we live in now, right? So hopefully this just lets you know where we're at right now. Because when you see it, you're like, you know what I'm saying? This is the society that we've created for ourselves, where women can just be naked as hell and do whatever the fuck they want to do. But the minute you start talking about something important, be quiet, right? Crazy, just crazy when you really sit and think about it. Like, now I want y'all to really go and see this. Like, when you're ever on social media, you'll see it. You're like, damn, that's actually kind of facts. Like, bitches could just be naked and it doesn't fucking matter. But you start saying about anything, and you start talking about anything real, cut off instantly.
What pisses me off, they walk down the street and then they cry that a guy's wolf whistled them. They crying that a guy's looked at their tits, that your tits are hanging out. I actually don't wear revealing clothing as such. I stay covered up. I don't feel like the need to show my tits. People can just see it, in person for free when I want to get it.
Isn't that fucking wild too, though? When you think about it, like, one of the biggest hoes of our current generation or modern times dresses more conservatively than women who have slept with less men. Isn't that crazy? So interesting. Like, if you didn't know already about Bonnie Blue and all the shit that she's done, and then you just looked at her and another girl who's probably, like, you walk down the street in like Miami, for example. You got bitches in Miami dressed way more provocatively than she is right now. And if you saw them both, you would think the other girl's a bigger hoe, and it's really Bonnie, which is ridiculous to me. And this is why, like, for us as guys, we're always so skeptical when we see this shit, because it's like, you don't know, bruh. Any of these girls that look super well put together, you never really know what's going on behind closed doors. That's why you gotta check that past every time, bro. Looks, no, not looks could be. Looks are deceiving, yo. As I was mentioning earlier in the stream, like their whole game is deception looks wise. So even if they look conservative or dress conservatively, it could actually be mega thoughts. Just keep that in mind.
Naked. But I don't walk around looking like a slut like most of these other people do. Yeah, I am a slut. But they walk around crying about
Which
the
is
fact
crazy.
people call them sluts. And it's like, look at you.
Same in the
Look
gym.
in the mirror.
Same in the gym. They wear those tight gym clothes and complain that people are looking at them.
They're videoing themselves bending over going, oh my God, look at that guy.
So
that
it's
leg bend."
anti-sex work. So they do sex work and then complain they're being seen as sexual objects.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying, Ro? You know what I'm saying is true. I understand you don't want to go to jail, so you have to be careful how you reply. I understand.
I'm
sir.
just doing my job here.
You're just a commentator.
Andrew, if you go to
Interesting.
jail, I'll identify as a guy so we can go in together.
All right, thank you.
Top and tail.
That's wild.
I mean, you can be in me if you want. I just thought, we'll keep that bit of secret.
You know, Bonnie, we're friends. You're my only female
Friends with
friend.
benefits.
No benefits. You know, I've never had a female friend in my life. I really don't have any female friends.
I have. I've had two, actually. And actually, I mean, I've had acquaintances. Obviously, when you're in high school, you just know girls that you're around and you do shit with around. But in terms of like real friends, probably maybe like two. And I actually think it was good that I had female friends because even before I got to my level of understanding all the things that I'm explaining to y'all now, like they were important catalysts for me to be able to understand these things better. Because even before, when I was learning about the truth about female nature and how women really move, like of course you question it at first because it's just some guy on the internet telling you this is how women are. And if you're not very experienced at a younger age, it's not like you're not going to instantly believe it because you don't have any reason to. So then when I had female friends, it gave me a very good opportunity to ask these kind of questions, to start asking questions about them. It was like, why do you do this? Why are you treating some dudes like this and other dudes like this, even though this dude is doing this thing? And you say you don't like this thing, but you're still dealing with him. Like, what's going on? Right? I think one of the biggest things for me, I think what changed the game for me actually, when I made me realize all this shit was true, in terms of the red pill and female nature and all those other kind of things, was when I asked to see my female friend's Tinder account, just to see like her Tinder account. And when I saw it, it was just like 99 plus matches. I'm like, damn. I remember last time I hopped on this app, I only got like 34. You know what I'm saying? I only got 34. I'm like, 99 plus, nigga. I'm like, this how many dudes is fucking with you? I'm like, man, I think I look pretty good. Only 34. And then I'm like looks wise, she wasn't ugly, but she was like average looking girl. And I'm like, looking, I'm like, damn, 99 plus, nigga? Even in that instant in my mind, I'm like thinking of badder girls. I'm like, yo, this is really different in terms of the level of attention both of us get. Like when it comes to a woman and a man, like the level of attention difference is ridiculous. That she can just hop on the app, have 99 plus, and tons of dudes messaging her. When you swipe to the message section, 100 dudes, tons of dudes, all fresh new messages. And it's like, damn. Whereas on your shit, you be messaging, nobody saying that for a while. You come at the girl, you send a message, never hear back ever again. You see what I'm saying? But then when I finally saw the other perspective of it for the first time, I'm like, oh yeah. Women are super different from us. Because obviously growing up in the US during the early 2000s, like it's just like already instantly baked into you that men and women are equal and we're pretty much the same or whatever. So it took me going out of the way of doing my own research with my female friends to really realize that, no, we live two completely different lives, y'all. A man's life and a woman's life is completely different. Completely different. In terms of, at least from an intergender dynamics way, it's completely different, bro. The level of attention that we get. Based on who we are, of course, but the level of attention from the jump. Like women just get so much more, whereas you as a man, you have to work for all the attention you get. So it was just so interesting when I really like saw that shit and just made me realize like, well, that's the value, the last piece of value my female friends gave me was like really being able to see firsthand with my own eyes how women and men are just completely different and how all the feminism and men and women are exactly the same shit was all a lie. So small little story there for y'all.
I don't have a single female friend because I don't really talk to women unless
I
I'm
just don't
fucking
really
them.
like women.
They don't really have much I want to hear
No.
to say. So
You know, when
Real
women
shit,
talk
though.
a lot of the time, I'm there just smiling, thinking, you're so irrelevant in the nice way possible. The things you're saying, they aren't funny. Like, I think I am funny, but like when they speak, I'm like, you're really not funny. I'm having to laugh at this joke to be polite. I'm having to pretend you're interesting out of politeness. I'll have to pretend your stresses at work are relevant, but they're not. You just work for someone else that works for someone else. Like when I listen to other women talk, I'm like, you're boring me. It's not entertaining. And I can't listen to your issues because they're not issues. They're just, I don't know, just pathetic excuses.
So Rob, let me ask you a question.
I don't know. Hearing women give talk shit about women is just so funny to me sometimes. I don't know why. Like even women hating on each other. I mean, women never usually get along very well, bro. They're too petty to get along with each other, bro. For us, like we already have to as men. We already have to grind so hard in the real world to become shit that like male relationships. There's no point in us being petty, man. I mean, not saying that. I mean, niggas are more petty than ever. More petty now than they ever were due to a lack of masculinity in society currently. But generally speaking, when men are honorable and trying to become as strong and as important as possible, like we're not petty like that. We're actually pretty honest and straight up, which makes our friendships a lot stronger because we can trust each other more than women can because women are snaky in the terms of the way that they move. You know what I'm saying? Just what happens like when you have two emotional people in the same place, bro. Like their emotions can change, so how they feel about another girl can change, and women are super good at holding grudges too, bro. So it's like it's a whole thing.
Question, sir. We have to make a decision. We are headed down the road we are traveling. Do we do an absolute 180 reversal of society and go back to tradition?
Oh yeah, this is a good question. I'm actually pushing back so like you guys can hear. I love this. This was a good question when I first originally watched this interview. It's a good fucking question, y'all.
Do we do an absolute 180 reversal of society and go back to traditional men in charge, patriarchal society where women have to obey their fathers, then obey their future husbands, where they have to get married young, have children? Or do we continue down the path where every single woman decides to make as much money as possible using her sexuality like Bonnie does? These are the two options. They're the only options that exist. There is no in between. There is no smart answer. There is no Aikido. There is A or B, Rob. Do you want to remove the female vote, or do you want your daughters and every other woman you know to end up like Bonnie Blue? Which one?
Well, I think both.
Well, this is what I'll say about this because I think this is such a good like question, y'all. Like, first, actually, what I would say about this is, in terms of prescribing to the it's either one or the other here. I don't really agree with that. You know, there's always going to be some gray area there. But let's just use the metrics that he gave here. So the way I see it, the only option we really have is for shit, not necessarily to be traditional again, but for men to become masculine again. That's always going to be the solution to all problems, right? Because women only do things that the men that are above them allow them to do. Women are out of line because men have allowed them to be out of line. So if we want to stop women from being out of line in the West, all the men have to become masculine again. Now, with that being said, what it's going to take for all the men to become masculine again is going to be very interesting. And I personally think the only way men are going to become aggressively masculine again is if we have a world war. Honestly, like there's just not enough incentives society wise for all the men just to become masculine and want to lead a family, lead a household, to not want to go 50-50 and do any of the feminist bullshit. Because so many men have been brainwashed by feminism. They genuinely think women and men are equal, right? They don't really know. Men don't understand their capabilities and the responsibility that they should have over women because women are not good at leading their own lives, right? So the only way men will wake up to an extreme degree from societal standpoint fully is if we have a world war where a ton of men die, right? And the reason why there's a lot of credence to this is because when you look at right after World War II, this is when men were at their most masculine. But think about that. Men were at their most masculine when millions had just died worldwide. I'm saying millions worldwide. Like, I don't know, millions worldwide, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, like so many men worldwide had just died. And now all the men in all these countries are more masculine than they've ever been. And that's just what violence creates. That's what war creates. That's what suffering creates. It forces men to get back into their traditional roles. When you look at other poorer countries, when you look at Gaza right now, there is no feminism there. There is no men are equal to women or any of the none of that. Because when shit gets real, when Israel's bombing you and bombs are flying over your head and niggas are dying and babies are getting killed or whatever, there is no debate about the role. The man provides and protects, the woman follows the man's lead and nurtures the family. That's it. There is no questions or debates about roles or whatever. That's just what it is. But that only is able to occur because of the violence going on, because of all the death going down on everybody. That's the situation that you get into. It's like everyone reverts back to their basic gender roles when shit gets real. When shit gets real, everybody reverts back to their basic gender roles. That's just what happens. Because we're forced to. You can't debate about anything when nukes are flying, bro. There's nothing to debate about anymore. It's all about survival. And when it's time to survive, everybody goes back to base. The only reason why we have the bullshit we have now because is everybody's actually super okay. Feminism is a super expensive ideology, y'all. We can only be getting women to think that they're equal to men because of how safe America is to think this shit. But as I just said, once the nukes start flying, ain't no more debating none of this shit. All these dumbass, liberal, progressive ideologies and ideas just are going to go away instantly because now it's survival mode. So the real niggas going to stand up and then the women are going to follow their lead. And more men are going to have to be real niggas because so many men are going to die. Especially in the nuclear war, y'all. All it takes one nuke to just fall on the city. 1 million dead. Everyone's just going to wake up, right? It's going to be wild. Everybody just going to wake up like, oh, shit. It's real shit now. Niggas is dying. Women are going to be scared. They're going to be looking for men who are strong, willing to protect them. And all the other men who also want to have women to have children are going to be like, well, I have to become more masculine again in order to compete because we're in a survival mode now. And that's what's going to force all of society to become more masculine again, for men to want to be leaders again. But as long as we don't have any real massive world war conflicts, I can only ever see things getting worse, right? Most people never get into gear unless something really horrible happens. Only a few men have woken up, even though there hasn't been some extreme situation going on. So that's that. So let's keep it going. But it was a good question. I like that question by Tate. It's interesting just to see it like that. I do think there's still gray area there. It's just more like, you know, it's going to take a really massive situation. If not, society's just going to continue to degrade. For sure.
Both roads end
No,
the same
don't
way.
try and Aikido it, Rob.
But both end the same way.
Which is what?
Both end up back with patriarchy running society. When what is it? Weak men
create hard times. And hard times create strong men, and strong men create good times, and good times create weak men.
And
that's just what happens, right? And the hard times I'm referring to here is the nuclear war I was just talking about, the potential for nuclear war. And when bombs start flying over everybody's head, that's when shit starts just gets real. So let me know if that made sense to y'all. Like that was telling you, that's just where we're at right now. That's where all the real niggas have gone.
It's the cycle.
Absolutely.
And yeah, society is weak right now. And if you don't have strong leadership,
it's because it's just safe. It's just like, that's just what safety creates, man. When we're super safe, when nobody's fighting to survive, bro, we just find new problems to complain about. And we forget. Human beings forget pain and suffering super fast. Bro, niggas just, we just be forgetting type shit. It's kind of wild.
Yep. You have government that starts to lead, and when government starts to lead and becomes too bloated and takes from society, in the end, society rebel. Even people who voted hardcore Labour, and even people in Labour will turn on Labour soon enough.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
But
I think things are going to get far more interesting before that happens.
Well, revolution.
The nukes, bro. I'm telling you, a nuke gonna fly, y'all.
Oh, that's the only way you reset.
Silver has crashed. It's back to its price in 1974. And I'm going to help us teach other financial freedom.
He's under such constant attack. That's why they're trying to get rid of me. That's why they don't like what I say. Because when you have men who are prepared to stand up for something, we're seen as a threat to the system. That's why
Sure.
masculinity in and of itself is attacked, because they don't want men who stick up for themselves. Because if you stick up for yourself, you stick up for society, which is why they use feminism and they weaponize it to destroy the masculine instinct. Because if women have more power than men, and if you can't even have a family, and you can't even tell your own wife what to do, why are you going to try and have any vested interest in society?
It's true though, and that's why we're in a situation where we have so many men that just sit in their mom's basements and don't try to achieve anything great because they feel like there's no point. It's not worth it. You guys know these communities, black pillars and incel communities. You know, they're on the internet. You can find them niggas, but that's how they look at the situation. They're like, "Oh, this shit isn't worth it. Why would I want to try to do anything? All the women suck or whatever." So that's what this what goes down. It's true. You know, it's always been a demoralization campaign, and it just kind of annoys me, bro. Because I wish I knew a lot of these things when I was younger. Like, I imagine, like, I'm thinking to myself, bro, imagine I knew this shit when I was like 16, when it was like really in its prime, like censorship, like that Obama era, or even post Obama era, like when it was real crazy. You know, like when it really started in terms of like, oh no, men and women are equal. They're all exactly the same. You can't say blah 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 or this that and the third or whatever. Like when shit was like that, you know, because I'm just there. I'm just like blah da 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 da. I mean, it was hard. It's hard. Like when you're a kid, it's like you have no reason to be invested in higher IQ topics like that in terms of thinking about the overall scope of what's going on in society right now. It's kind of something that you can only really realize a bit late, you know, unless somebody else is already in a position where they're speaking about this stuff. But obviously, social media wasn't as big as it is now, and there wasn't alternate ways to get a different viewpoint. It's just whatever the mainstream news would tell you, or whatever mainstream cartoons you were watching was telling you, or the mainstream celebrities and artists who are all controlled and have handlers and they're going to say whatever they need to say or they're forced to say. So it's like it was impossible even during that time to really start thinking differently. But thank God for YouTube, with people making different types of videos with different types of viewpoints and angles. Now you can kind of see what's going on for real. But you know, of course, it would be better to know. It would have been better to know back then, because I'm like, bro, it'd be easier to speak out and say like this shit's kind of dumb, you know. But it's still important now, of course, because even as I just mentioned earlier, it's like things are only going to get worse, y'all. It's not like things are going to get better, because things just have no reason to get better. We're not at war, like, you know what I'm saying? Like nukes are not flying overhead. We have no reason to change the way society is moving right now. There's just not enough men who are against the nonsense that's going on, or against the nonsense that feminism has created. There's not enough men that want to step up and just take care of their wives and don't want to go 50-50 and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? There's too many men that have completely bowed out of the situation completely, and they're like, I don't even want to try. So you know what I'm saying? Like things are only gonna get worse. So until something crazy happens, like a massive war.
If you have a house and you're the king of that household, and your woman obeys you and your children obey you and you're the king of the house, you're not going to give up that street or that town or that city or that country easily, because that's your house, that's your kingdom. If you're going home and your woman doesn't listen to you, and she doesn't suck your dick, and you're paying all these taxes and your kids ignore you and they just watch YouTube, and you're not the man of anything, why are you going to stand up and rebel on the street? You don't give a shit. You've lost all vested interest in protection. Your protective instinct has been neutered. You're a eunuch. That is why feminism is used. This is the point I'm making about certain groups of men using women as a conduit to destroy other groups of men. Women are not the gun. Women are the bullet. Men still hold the guns. Feminism is a bullet that a man has shot.
Hell yeah, bro.
This is what most people don't understand about all of these ideals. And what I'm saying is, the society we have built has encouraged women to be as promiscuous, as rebelling, as open, as sexual, and to get as much.
And this is even something too that I mentioned last stream when I was talking about how like women basically serve no masters anymore. They legitimately don't serve any masters anymore, y'all. It's just go do whatever you want. There's no higher responsibility for them now. It's literally just women go be as selfish as possible and don't consider anything. It's all about what you want. It's all about your happiness and your fulfillment. While it's still responsibility from the minute we're born. We're still told, no, you have to provide and protect for a woman. So you need to become successful. You need to become something, right? We're already given a higher purpose that we have to aim for. Whereas women, it's just like, go girl, do whatever you want. You can conquer the world. It's not about anybody else. It's all about you. In a society that men have to work tirelessly to maintain for you to be able to be selfish and do whatever you want. And say that, I don't want the guy that's making 50K but builds the roads that everybody drives on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the situation we're creating. So, as he was even just saying earlier, that's why so many dudes are bowing out of the situation, because it's like, nigga, I'm playing my role, I'm playing my position, I'm fulfilling the purpose that I've been told since birth to fulfill. But these hoes are still like, I don't want you. I don't need you. I make my own money. I'm a boss. I'm this. I'm independent. Like, bro. So I did all this work to live up to my purpose, right? And now it's being completely unappreciated after being told for years and years and years since I was born as a man that I need to provide and protect. And the minute I want to do that for a woman, it's like she don't want that. She wants to just be able to do whatever I want. She doesn't even listen to me or care what I think at all. Just nag all the time. And it's like, nigga, why wouldn't you in this situation realize that you signed up for a bad deal? If you do all this work, you've been told, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this, so women want you, you can have children or whatever. And then you do all that shit, and then you have a woman who doesn't even really fucking like you and nags you and annoys you all the time and thinks she's better than you. It's like, oh, you build the roads. I don't want a nigga that build the roads. I don't want a plumber. I don't want this. Even though you play a crucial role to the benefit of society. You know, this is why I also have a really massive respect for blue collar men, man. Y'all are the real goats, bro. You guys create the infrastructure that allows everybody to do things like this, to stream and talk to a camera and just sit in this nice chair in this nice room with this nice computer. You guys allow for shit like this. You guys allow for jobs like this, you know. So even to say this for y'all, you know, this is like me even trying to get back to y'all. Like, you niggas are the real ones, bro. You guys allow everybody to do all these other fun things. Because you guys give us the electricity, you give us the plumbing, the clean water, all these other things that if they were gone, nobody would be able to do this shit. You know? So y'all the real goats, bro. Y'all the real goats in my eyes, bro. Like, blue collar guys, the real goats, bro. They literally build fucking everything that we get to enjoy. And for women to be so ungrateful of that shit is absolutely ridiculous. But this is what we train them to do. This is what, as he's saying here, this is what evil men have trained women to do. To basically be ungrateful as hell and entitled as fuck. Even though they don't deserve it at all. It only makes sense, y'all. It only all makes sense.
Money as possible. And Bonnie has just played the game the best and won the game. The game is chess. She's a grandmaster at it. You can't complain about the grandmaster. You have to complain about the game of chess. So it's completely asinine for anybody to ever give Bonnie a hard time about anything she's doing ever. When in fact, she's just the best at the game that's currently being played, because 99% of women are trying to do the same thing as her, which is use their pussy to get some money.
True.
And that doesn't bother you hearing that?
No, it's factual. It's the truth. So why could I be offended? If you're offended by something that's factual, then change it. If I was offended by calling a prostitute and slag, then I should change that. But how can I sit there and say I'm ever offended by anyone telling me that what's the truth?
And Rob, and I want to make something clear. I really do try and ground myself in absolute logic in all ways. And that's why I'm extremely hard on myself. I've said to you in previous podcasts that what happened to me about jail and all this shit, it was me. I take absolute responsibility for everything that's ever happened to me. I'm not a person who blames anyone else.
Which is good. Because just to even monologue on this, because I love saying this shit all the time on all my socials all the time. Like, if you want to have infinite power in your life and infinite freedom in your life, you just have to blame yourself for everything. It's really just that simple. Why does that work? Why does that make sense? Because when you blame yourself for every single problem that you have in your life, that means you now have the power to create solutions. Because how are you supposed to solve a problem that you think is not your fault? If I say it's this person's fault that I don't have the life that I want, that means I have to sit here and wait for this other person to decide, hey, let me fix your problem. And when does that ever happen? Never, my niggas. It never happens. So if you do want to win in life, if you do want to achieve a lot of great shit in your life, then you have to go in and out of your way to blame yourself for everything. Even when you think it might not make sense to, you should still do it. Why? Because not only does this give you the capability to solve your problems, but it also makes you smarter. It forces you to become more capable and gain more abilities and skills. because you blame yourself. So you're like, well, I have to solve the problem now. So I have to gain skills and abilities to solve this problem. So it's like it's a cycle of you just infinitely getting stronger so you can have everything in your life because everything is your fault now. So you have to get all the skills and capabilities you could possibly get to solve all problems so you can get things that you want. And this just makes you an inevitable beast. This makes you an inevitable winner in your life forever because there's nothing that can happen to you where you're not just going to be like, okay, I'm gonna have to figure this shit out because it's all on me. And that's just your response to everything. This is what makes you an infinite winner, right? How weak you are or how strong you are is determined by how much you complain about others and how much you blame others for problems. If you blame nobody for anything, and if everything is your fault, you can become infinitely strong. Whereas if you blame everyone and you complain about everyone, you're infinitely weak because you have no control over your life in its direction. You're giving that right to everybody else except for you. Don't fucking do that shit, y'all. Telling you, man. That's why like the responsibility thing is an absolute cheat code. More than you niggas realize, y'all. Like if everything is on you, it's like, bro, your life becomes so fun. It's just a series of you gaining skills and abilities to solve all your problems. It's just so awesome. Rather than sitting and wallowing in self-pity and saying it's everybody's fault and whatever. It's like, nigga, no one's coming to save you, bro. You probably heard that a million times from a million different places across the internet, but it's just, that's the truth. It's because it's true. So.
Considering women just want status and money, don't think I haven't thunk about the fact about the women who say they love me. I'm not dumb. I love you so much. I love you. I love you. Of course. I love that you're attractive. I love that you're attractive and you do as I say. And you love that I'm very famous and very rich and I give you a lifestyle. Now, you say you'd love me if I didn't give you the lifestyle, but if I didn't give you the lifestyle, how would I even be me? How am I me with no money? How am I me with no status? How am I me with no power? Who am I?
So pausing there here, you are what you do. Not what you think you are. You are what you do. Because everybody is judged based off what they do, not what they think or what they think of themselves. Like, what do you do? When I describe someone, think about it, you're like, hey, this is my dad. He's a plumber. You know what I'm saying? You describe him as what he does, not here's my dad. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody can really gauge this person at all when you speak that way. When you say, here's this guy, he does these things. That's how you know who this person is. You are what you do, guys. We're all judged based off what we do, not what we think, not what we say, but what we do. Action is the only thing that truly speaks. Because action is the only way we describe each other. So it's almost like if you turned off your eyes and you not even you turn off your eyes. If you turn off your eyes and your mouth and you just only have your ears, it's like it's ridiculous because you get to kind of like see everything. Right? It's like you just get to you just know who is who because you just see what someone does and with your eyes and with your eyes when you're seeing it's just kind of like it's clear. It's like, okay, this is like he's not saying anything, but he's doing this thing. So I know this is who he is because he's doing this thing. He's not telling me something and then me just expecting me to believe it. It's just like I'm just seeing it happen. Right. So if you almost like approach life that way, when you just look at people as you just see them, you don't hear them, right? Nobody speaks. You just see what everybody does. Like that's how you know who's who. That's what separates us all. That's why anybody ever likes you or doesn't like you. It's because of what you do, not what you say, not what you think, but what you do.
Then I'm a different person. So I know you're with me because you get things, and I'm with you because I get things. It's transactional. All relationships are transactional. This podcast is a transaction. This is how things work. So I'm not stupid enough to believe the women who say they love me, even though they say they love me, and even though they mean it when they say it, they're not smart enough to analyze that they
and realize
because they don't think of it that way. They just feel love. Oh, I love you so much.
And they don't like, it's like you're not going to sit there and explain why you have this feeling, but the feeling is there because of these particular things that you do, as I just described. When you do these certain things, feelings are created by the things that you do. You know what I'm saying? Which is why we are what we do, because people have feelings based off what you do, They can have feelings off what you say, but what really matters is what you do. Because what you do is the only thing that's real and tangible. Words are cheap, and anybody can talk about anything or say anything.
Oh, you love me so much. We're just cruising in the Lambo and we're just in, oh, you just all of a sudden you say you love me. They don't even realize what they're doing. I do. I understand the world very well.
But isn't love a human need?
Love is a transaction.
It's a human need.
Women love who protect and provide for them, whether
Yeah, I would 100% disagree with that. Love is not a human need for connection. You do not need to feel love to operate as a human being on any level at all. You really don't. In the sense, and even because when you think about love, it's just like love is just this real, uncontrollable connection to someone. It's almost like unfettered emotion. It's just like it's almost like you just. That's why they say you fall in love because it's just something you're just in now, and it controls and dictates your actions and thoughts and how you move. Right. That's why they also say love is blind because it's just a feeling that you just give into, but it's not a human need. You might have the desire to feel love, or want to fall in love, which you niggas shouldn't, so you can focus on winning in your life because that's what's most important, right? But you might have the desire or need or feel like, oh, I need to feel love and whatever. But is it a must and a human need to survive to any degree or perform well as a human being or to even have a wife and children or anything like that? No. You can literally attain everything there is to have in life without falling in love at all, except for the love itself. But the thing is, it's not worth it to fall in love because love is blind. And why would you want to be blind? Who wants to be blind? There's literally no benefits given to you in your life by being blind. And I've never seen anyone say, falling in love changed my life in a positive connotation, right? They might call it love, sure. Because some people can say, oh, well, I saw this one guy and he was like, I fell in love and then his life got better and everything's been great so far, sure. But primarily anyway, the love is only lasting because he's playing a particular role in his relationship so well that the woman he's with is willing to stay, more than willing to stay. And that's fine. It's not like a bad thing. It's just more saying that to go over what Rob just said is like, isn't love a human need? And I'm saying like, nah, it's not like a need to perform. You don't need to be in love with your wife or your girlfriend, to have a successful relationship at all. Because think about arranged marriages back in the day, right? Were you in love with your spouse or your wife when you got an arranged marriage? Not necessarily, it's more like it was a direct transaction. Like, and it's funny. Relationships were way better back in the day when we had arranged marriages or marriages were more arranged. I don't want to misquote anything here or speak out of fact in terms of like how it was maybe in the US. There was just more arrangement when it came to marriages, or like when a man and a woman came together, there was more like religion involved, right? And it wasn't just about love, it was more about the responsibility aspect. And because of that, relationships were better because they weren't built off this nonsense that is love, because love is blind, right? And you can feel love and lose love. You know what I'm saying? So if you're building a relationship off something that is so inconsistent, being love, obviously it's not going to be able to last long. Whereas if you build it off responsibility, like, hey, we're coming together because I'm going to play my role and you're going to play yours, you actually end up building into the love because it was built on responsibility first. And I would argue that the best relationships ever on the planet will always be built on responsibility over love. You just work into the love because you're so responsible. Like when everybody's playing their role to such an extreme degree, of course, the love can form. But when you try to see if there's a spark or a feeling first before you try to do something long term, it's foolish. You're guaranteeing that your relationship is more than likely going to fail because you're trying to build it off something that is fleeting. I hope you niggas understand this when it comes to love, because a lot of you niggas lover boys, loving ass niggas, loving these hoes out here when you shouldn't. It should all be about responsibility for you. It should be about playing a role for you. And when it's about playing a role, when it's about being responsible, you grow into the relationship and it's able to last for a very long time. But yeah, that's just my take on how love works and operates.
the French soldier or the German soldier, sir.
We'll go for about five. We'll go about 5 more minutes. You know what I'm saying? Then I want to pack it in a little bit early today because I do got a flight mad early in the morning tomorrow. So I want to make sure to get that shit cooked. And then we'll be back again on the 22nd at 6 p.m.
Women love when they get what they want. That's it.
You need
So there's no
water.
loyalty. Loyalty doesn't exist.
Loyalty, what I'm trying to say here.
Oh, I like this question. So I'm actually gonna. So I just love the monologues, man. I just love to cook and talk about this kind of shit. Okay, loyalty is earned, never given. Right? You have to be valuable for people to want to be loyal to you. You know, and even when I say loyalty is earned, never given, there's levels to loyalty. How it's not is somebody loyal to you or not. It's how loyal are they. For example, you could have a relationship where a girl could say, "Oh, I'm super loyal to you," but still goes to party all the time without you around other dudes who are drunk and horny openly. And whenever you're saying, "Hey, nah, you shouldn't go out and do that," she claps back at you. It's like, "Oh, don't be insecure. I'm loyal to you. I only love you. I'm not looking at any other guy." Yet she puts herself in situations that are constantly going to force her to use her willpower to stay loyal. You see how she's putting herself openly in dangerous situations, but claims that she's loyal to you? So, based off her behavior, you can tell that she's actually not that loyal because she's more than willing to put herself in temptation, situations with a lot of temptation to cheat on you. Like she's willing to do that. And somebody who's willing to put themselves in such dangerous situations actively isn't that loyal to you. Understand? So the better you are as a man, though, right, in terms of your capabilities, your money, your status, your importance to the world, the better your capabilities, the more loyal a woman is willing to be to you, meaning the more she would be willing to have you control her behavior or not put herself in these tempting situations because she actually values you. She's willing to be loyal to you because you're powerful and important. So she's more willing to listen to you. And if you say, "Hey, no, you can't go there," she's more willing to listen. "Hey, no, you can't do this thing. We got to do this other thing." She's more willing to listen because you've earned her loyalty through your capability rather than just expecting loyalty when you don't have capability, which is why, once again, it's so important to reach the pinnacle as a man or to shoot for the pinnacle as a man because the more important you become, the more powerful you become, the richer you become, the more important to the world that you become, the more willing women are willing to be loyal to you. Because as I just said, it is earned, never given. Right? You can't just expect people to give you loyalty if you're not important. If you're a useless homeless man, imagine it's like a homeless man on the street, came up to me and said, "Hey, can you please never betray me? Here's this $5, here's this $10. I'm gonna let you hold this money. Please don't steal it from me or take it from me. Stay loyal." It's like for me, I'm not saying I would take his money. It's just more like to say, like, in this example, for me, I'm like, what reason do I have to be loyal to this homeless dude? What can he even do for me? What value does he really bring to my life at all? Why should I be loyal to him and not just take this money from him and not give a fuck? So if you want loyalty from people, then you need to be important and useful. It's earned. Nobody should just be loyal to anyone. Not everybody's worth being loyal to because not everybody's useful. So as a man, you need to become as useful as possible because more people will be willing to be loyal to you. Loyalty is earned, never given. Telling y'all, man. Actually, even with that, that's actually a great place to stop in terms of just understand, guys, loyalty is ridiculously important. If you want, well, not that loyalty is ridiculously important, but if you want loyalty, you have to earn that shit through being as useful as possible to the world. All right. So real quick, let's just run through the YouTube. Let's run through the shout outs of the different platforms that you boys on so we can grow the fam. Make sure you guys follow up. But even first before that, if you're fucking with this, fucking with the vibes, fucking with the fam, fucking with the stream, like the video. Like the stream, y'all. Like the stream. So more niggas can see this shit. And if they fuck with my yap and what I'm saying and my perspectives and the way I view shit, they can follow the stream. Follow your boy and grow the fan. So I can become rich and famous myself. And do and demonstrate and do all the things that I'm describing to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because why would I be wanting to talk all this shit and not do it? Me doing this shit trains me more than it trains y'all almost. But it's almost like a virtuous cycle. By training myself, I train y'all by saying all the things that I say. It's beautiful when you really think about it. That's the beauty of what I'm doing right now. So, all right, let's pull up that YouTube for y'all boys, though. So you guys can definitely check that motherfucker out. Pull up the IG too. And what the fuck else am I? Oh, the tick of the talks. Hold on. All right, bet. So let's stop sharing here. And then reshare here. I bet. Yup. Go follow up. Ali Argudade. at YouTube or at aliargundade. You know what I'm saying? Check that shit out. We'll be streaming pretty much every single fucking day because I love the streaming shit, or I'm loving to get into this shit. I actually literally just posted a video like 52 minutes ago. So definitely go check that out if you want to learn about real confidence so you can get real success in your life. Or if you want to understand why being your me actually isn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? We're covering a range of shit in terms of accomplishing your goals and becoming successful, of course. So follow that shit up, y'all. I'll switch over to the gram. Follow me on the gram too. Same thing. aliargundade. Same thing as YouTube. Follow that shit up. A lot of success tips on here. I also have my thread content or like X type content on here to give you guys brand new perspectives or shift your beliefs around what it takes to become successful and achieve your goals, of course. Follow that shit up on there too. Also get your X, which we're streaming on right fucking now. X. Oh, I was even in solo mode. My fault, yo. But it's the third time I did that. You need to learn from that, bro. Hold on. So let me make sure you guys can actually see it. My fault, y'all. So boom, YouTube, check that shit out. aliargundade. You know what I'm saying? All the shit that I just described a second ago. You know what I'm saying? You want to learn about confidence. You want to learn about being your me. Isn't that bad? We also stream through YouTube on here too. So if you want to watch through YouTube instead of Rumble, that's also fine. But whatever works best for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Switch over to X. So I'll go back to the IG. But yeah, check me out on X, y'all. Got 21 of you niggas in here watching. If you're fucking with my shit, then like the stream. Always gotta like my own shit, by the way, because you gotta be your number one supporter, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you get belief from other people in what you do, it's already too late. You've already been grinding so hard on your own by yourself that you already just believe in the shit that you're doing. So you don't need the belief of other people for you to win in your life. Yeah, you just don't need the belief of other people for you to win in your life, bro. So you got to support yourself first. So y'all fucking with the stream on X, like the stream, follow me on X, of course. Be cooking on X too, going hard. Be posting my short forms, other kinds of takes, and you know what I'm saying. X is more for the political yap anyway, but yeah, it's just nice so you can understand my even more broader perspectives on shit too. All right. Let me just show you guys the IG again real quick in actual Prezi mode this time. So yep, IG, aliargundade, follow that shit up. Before we posting my nice little success tips and shit on there. You know what I'm saying? Different perspectives in terms of like how to achieve your goals, what it takes, and just seeing things differently so you can make sure you win in your life, bro. Because I want all you niggas to win. I want the fam to grow and everybody to be a fucking winner. You know what I'm saying? Like who doesn't want that shit? Feel me? Alrighty. So now I'm literally clicking on everything, but the thing I did want to click on. Last but not least, tick of the talk. Smaller on here. Recently started this shit like 3 weeks ago. Been trying to build that shit up. A lot of success tips on here. Also, my skit type content on here that's just fun to make. Been making it for a while, so I just enjoy making that shit. And then obviously, just like my straightforward, ask me questions. I give y'all good rap on how to achieve shit, how to get your discipline up. You know what I'm saying? How to make sure that your past isn't holding you back and you actually leverage it so you can become more successful. Just the whole 9 yards. So follow me on all my stuff. Fuck with all my shit. We got to grow the fam everywhere. Got to be massive everywhere. Just got to be real niggas. Got to conquer all of this shit, bro. Because it's either win or die trying over here on this side, y'all. It's not worth doing anything if you're not going to go all the fucking way. Feel me? Feel me, y'all? But that's that real spill, y'all. And if you don't choose to do any of those things, just like the stream. Just like the fucking stream. So even if your dumbass doesn't like this shit, which you should, because I'll turn you into a winner as I turn myself into a winner, at least somebody else who's like, yo, this is exactly what I need to be hearing on a constant, consistent basis for me to become a winner. I got you. You got to let those niggas be able to see the shit that I got going on. So you got to like the stream. I like my other videos, all my other shit. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, love fucking with y'all. Love the stream today. Nice, long, yappage, nice little monologues. And I'll catch you guys again on the 22nd at 6 p.m. when I come back from my trip. So peace out, y'all. All love, fam.